Hey everyone, Jen Loves Wrestling here. Hope you are having a great day. Happy Monday, almost time for Raw. So today we are going to talk about NXT and NXT UK, and we are going to start off with NXT Halloween Havoc, which I thought was a very fun show. I think that they nailed it. Everything went great. Starting with Shotzi as the host, of course, did a fantastic job. Her costumes and the costume changes, the look, the vibe, all of it, to the atmosphere, the decor. I'm a little jealous here because I used to work in a haunted house, so I would have loved to have helped them decorate. Out of all the things that I thought I would have said that I would love to do for NXT, I never thought decorating would be one of them, but they nailed it. Everything just looked fantastic. I loved it. I love the atmosphere, the vibe. Everything looked awesome. They really did such a great job. And we started off the show with a Devil's Playground match. And that was Johnny Gargano versus Damian Priest. And the end of this was a little crazy and mysterious and spooky because we had somebody come out as Ghostface to cost Damian Priest this match, and Johnny Gargano picked up the win. He is your new North American champion. But I guess the big question there is who is Ghostface? I don't think it was Billy Loomis or Mrs. Loomis or Mickey, or we could go down the list of the Scream characters. So I guess we'll find out when this mystery unravels. Next we had honestly, probably one of, if not my very favorite segment of the night. It was hard for me to even personally move on from this just because it was so well done and it was so awesome. And it's just an example for me, just my personal taste. Things just get better and better. Pat McAfee comes out with the new tag team champions, Danny and Oni. So far, so good. Pat's killing it on the mic, as always. I love it. I love all three of these guys. Of course, they don't get too far before Kyle O'Reilly comes out, and he is not alone because Kyle O'Reilly is not a stupid man, and he is not going to come out to face a 1-on-3 situation. He brings none other than Pete Dunne, which was an amazing surprise anyways. I didn't even know Pete was in the country, so that was super exciting. I'm a humongous fan of Pete Dunne, so this was so great. Pete comes out, hands Kyle a chair. They face off with Pat and the champs. And then things get really interesting. Pete attacks Kyle and joins Pat McAfee's faction. So, yeah, I mean, and not only do we get Pete Dunne in NXT, we get Pete Dunne in NXT in this amazing new faction, and we get Pete Dunne back as a heel in the lane that he belongs. This is my favorite version of Pete. Didn't care very much for the stuff he was doing previously on NXT. He went back to UK, needed that distance, came back, and is back to being the Pete Dunne that I know and love. So I am crazy about this faction. Like, if it wasn't for Imperium, this would be by far my favorite faction going in the company right now. These guys are amazing, but nobody touches Imperium in my book. But these guys are, they're doing a pretty good job though. So, I love it. I love it. All right, Santos Escobar, your cruiserweight champion, versus Jake Atlas. Santos retained because, in my opinion, his costume was cooler. Jake Atlas did not dress up. I think Shotzi would have been very disappointed. Where was your costume, Jake Atlas? One of the only guys who didn't do anything at all. And it's not like he can be like Rhea or Priest or Io, where they already have that kind of a look anyways. Jake just didn't do nothing. Showed up like it was another day on the job. And Santos came out and they did the tribute to... let's make sure... I don't want to offend anybody. I want to make sure I pronounce it straight. I'll just say it. Day of the Dead. I can't pronounce the translation for that. De la Muerte, de la Muerte, something like that. The Day of the Dead, a Mexican tradition in the lane of Halloween, and I thought that they did a fantastic job with that. The makeup, the costumes, everything looked great. So that was really cool. I love that Legado del Fantasma came out dressed like that. So, yeah, so he picked up that victory. still your Cruiserweight champion, even though I'm sure Jordan Devlin has something to say about that overseas. Cameron Grimes versus Dexter Loomis. This was really fun. They did this match in sections. It was kind of like a to be continued. We'd catch it back up with it later in the show. It was kind of like a haunted house. They started off in the woods, and it was so crazy. There was like, fog and smoke, and it was just like they had the creepy vibe going and everything. It was so awesome. So of course this is in Dexter's lane. Cameron Grimes is playing the cowardly heel to a T. Cameron Grimes just always nails it, no matter what he does. But he did such a great job with this, even trying to get Regal to get him out of it. But Regal did not get him out of it, and he ended up passing out to Dexter Loomis, and in the ring afterwards, there was like smoke in the ring and all sorts of zombies, and that cast did a fantastic job with that. Everybody looked awesome. I really love that. Horror is my second favorite thing to wrestling anyways, so this just hits so big with me. Beautifully done. I loved it. I think everybody did a great job. Everybody involved. Next match, Raquel versus Rhea Ripley. Rhea picked up the win. But Raquel is showing signs of improvement to me. I don't think she was anywhere near ready to beat Rhea Ripley. But she had a strong showing in that match. They looked good. Lady Hoss fight. Good times. Rhea, your winner. And then, the main event. Candice LeRae versus Io Shirai. Poppy played Io Shirai to the ring, which was really great. Always great to see Poppy. I love Poppy. She's awesome. They actually did really well with that. They had the lights off, and then all of a sudden you hear, "I am Poppy," and then she sings it. I was like, oh my god. Like, they did a great job with that. Io didn't do much for a costume, though. But, she's got that natural look down anyways, like I was mentioning earlier. Versus Candice LeRae. And Io came prepared here because she was obviously watching the show. She obviously knew what was in store. So she was not going to be deterred by another Ghostface, and neither was Shotzi. Shotzi was not going to have the integrity of her show ruined. She comes out. Of course, Ghostface comes out. Shotzi comes out to even up the odds, and Io Shirai picks up the victory. Still your champion. This was a tables, ladders, and scares match. They did, again, everything was down to a detail. They even had a bag of body parts. The ladders were even red. Like, they did not miss any details of this whole show. It had the beautiful Halloween horror feel, and it was a lot of fun, and it was just really a great escape right now, and it was just something that we could all sit back and enjoy, especially somebody like me who Halloween's a little different this year, but I had so much fun watching this show. Top to bottom, it was a blast. Awesome show. Really liked it. Let's just cover NXT UK real quick because I'm going a little longer than I intended. We had Valkyrie versus Dani Luna open up the show, and Valkyrie remains undefeated. She picked up the win in this match, which was to my satisfaction, to my liking, because I am a humongous fan of Valkyrie. I was a fan of her since she was in WXW. I think she's one of the greatest female wrestlers I've ever seen. Her precision is just the word I keep coming back to with her. She's very precise. You really haven't even seen anything yet. She's so amazing. Then we had a segment here with Eddie Dennis. He is trying to get to the bottom of who is going after Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster, and keep your friends close and your enemies. Keep your enemies close, your friends closer, whatever. It ended up being the Hunt. It ended up being their friends. I really didn't see that coming. I wasn't really a huge fan of the Hunt anyway, so it wasn't like shocking to me or anything like that. I thought it was going to be pretty deadly because that's who Eddie has been associating with. So I thought Eddie and Pretty Deadly were going to be the people behind the attacks. But it actually ended up being somebody that Mark and Flash thought that they could trust. So they got their, I don't know, they got a surprise there, and they got a beatdown, and the Hunt was revealed to be the people that attacked Morgan and Andrews. All right, so Ilia versus Walter. Oh my God. Oh, these guys always go big. I mean, it's like Ilia and Walter announced match. You know about it. You know it's going to be amazing, and yet somehow it still managed to surpass your expectations. I don't know how they do it. These guys, everything that they have always been through. I've seen their matches in WXW. I am a huge fan of every time they go at it because it is always so hard hitting. It is always so emotional. It is always so intense. They bring absolutely everything. 100% isn't even beginning to cover it. It's like 1,000%. It's like 1,000,000%. They never give anything less. Ilia is a little firecracker. He is a little ball of fire. He is just like a stick of dynamite ready to explode at all times. Oh, man. So they previously have had awesome matches in the past. This was another spectacular, awesome match by these two. One of the things, a couple things I really like particular about this match was usually if you have a big, hugely anticipated title fight, these guys are going to, they know they're going to go the distance, so you're going to start out slow and you're going to pace yourself. Not these guys. They never do that. It's always just, it's on 100 the whole entire match. It never calms down. Not from the start, not from the first second of the match to the last second of the match. Everything is just solid intensity. It's amazing. It's, I don't know. You have to see this match. If you haven't seen this match, if you don't regularly watch NXT UK, just, you got to see this match. Oh my God. So if you're still going to see it, turn off the video, come back to it later. But for those of you who did see it, we will talk about the ending. And I thought that this was the way to go. Ilia passed out, which I like the fact that Ilia didn't get pinned or tapped or anything like that. His heart never got out of the match. His body gave up on him. Ilia will keep fighting as long as he's conscious, but unfortunately his body gave out long before his heart and his mind did. So Walter, still your NXT UK champion. Alright, guys, enjoy Raw tonight. Have a good night. I will see you next week. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Alright, love you. Have a good night. Mwah. Bye. Happy Halloween. In the past. Bye. That was weird.